Hello friends, this is Growl. Happy reset day, and here we are with another episode of whatever we're calling the series, where we open the weekly chests, talk about the affixes, and talk about some other stuff going on in the channel. Got some cool stuff going on today. I'm going to raffle off a giveaway from my Discord for a big thank you to the people that have been hanging out and supporting the team during the MDI stuff, and we'll also go over the comments of the last video, and we'll talk about what we think about future content. So without further ado, we're going to open our boxes with our Mistweaver now. I don't want to give away too many spoilers, but it's looking like Mistweaver might be good in raid next year. I mean, it's good in raid right now, so although this character is kind of down in the dumps, it might be on my to-do list actually to freshen this guy up. Dang, he's actually not doing too bad. 250 item level. I'm sure a lot of people were a little bit upset when I said he's down in the dumps, but I guess I haven't done any socket stuff. I haven't done any raid. Basically just do a weekly chest every week. I don't even know really what stats and priority we want to have on him. So our biggest upgrade is definitely our ring and this trinket. This trinket is really junky, so I guess we gotta hope for a trinket. I think we only did one weekly key this week, so no DPS spec for us to put our Mistweaver in. Let's see what we got. Well, we have the same ring that we had, but a 252 version. We'll take it. I think in Mythic Plus you want a fair chunk of haste. I think haste ends up being pretty good on Mistweaver just because it reduces the cooldown of Rising Sun Kick. But we'll take it. I'm looking for a ring enchant. I try and enchant my rings whenever I can, just because I'm gonna forget later. I'm gonna end up in some key and someone's gonna be making fun of me because I don't have a ring enchant. So we'll do that now real quick. I don't even know if haste is the right enchant, but I do not think I want mastery for Mythic Plus. Bam. Sweet, one upgrade. Yeah, this making video about my box opening is definitely the move. My luck has increased substantially since then. It's only been the second week. I think my music is a little bit loud. I made this mistake yesterday. Or last week, I mean. Where my music was a little bit too loud. We caught it. We nipped it. Try and learn. Alright, so we're on our Druid. Our Druid's gear is pretty similar to our Mistweaver's. A little bit less fortunate. We're still using a ring from last tier. We have really junky trinket and just random one from Miss. So we would definitely like to replace this trinket or this ring or these gloves. Dang, our poor Druid. Our poor Druid. We get a crit verse neck, and it's a neck that we've already have. Fortunately, our Druid goes back on the bench. We will take our attendance token of merit, which are now not very valuable, I think. Before, you could use them for the codex, like rep stuff or whatever, but now I think you can, since you can farm that infinitely in 9.15, there's not really too much value in those things either. This was originally going to be my Druid's hangout spot in Oribos, but it turns out since everyone hangs out in their Covenant halls, you don't really spend much time in Oribos this patch. Alright, let's check out the priest. There is good news for our paladin in that our paladin did sneak into a raid. I don't remember, but I think we only got 8 bosses, unfortunately, so we only have 2 raid box spots. But after our vault opened last time, we only need raid stuff, I think, or just some really godly, you know, leech or avoidance stuff. Our priest is looking all right. Could use an offhand. We got a weapon really early, but we didn't get an offhand, and we've been using this the whole time. I don't mind our trinkets. I don't mind anything else. Yeah, we really want an offhand. Wrists, I guess, but those end up being a dom socket spot anyway, so. We have a cape with high mastery, and it's essentially a cape that we already have. Okay. The problems of opening, or the problems of only doing 1 key a week on a character. All right, we're saving up our luck energy for our pally and our shaman. We might start sneaking our shaman into some raids soon too. I'm looking to try and get raiding again, just because it looks like this tier is gonna last at least a couple more months. I want to get some gear up, hopefully, just to make sure we can, you know, make a push for Raider IO score at some point. Do some high keys. I think I know what the affixes are. I haven't checked them yet. We'll check them after we open all of our boxes, but they definitely look good. All right, so our Shaman has 2 slots. We have a weapon with high mastery that we don't want, and we have a very, very small upgrade on our bracers, where we just move a little bit of mastery into verse. So I guess we'll take any upgrade we can get at this point. We don't want to take our tokens for the 3rd time this week. Boom. Where's our bracer thingy? It looks like we might have to buy those too. Enchant bracers, is this what it's called? Boom. I always feel embarrassed when I can't find something in my inventory and then I buy it and then I just see it appear on a stack of like 20 and I'm just like, whoops. Luckily that is not the case. All right, so small upgrade on the Shaman, reasonable upgrade on our monk, junk on everyone else. Now where the fun begins. So I believe we should have 3 box spots for Mythic Plus and 2 for Raid. Let's take a look real quick what we need. I know there's 2 items specifically, or there might only, 2, 1. I know there's for sure 1 item we need. So the big ticket item we need is the shoulders for Sylvanas. It's a 7 item level upgrade, and it also has haste verse on it, which are our best stats. And the second big upgrade we need is just a new helm of this, but the mythic version. Other than that, we have pretty dang good gear. Someone was kind enough to give me this ring that has speed on it, so if I may end up just socketing this ring and using this just for the extra 40 speed. Really happy with all of our other items though. There's not too much I would really want. Leech or Avoidance on a Mythic Plus item. I don't know what I would do if I got a 252 Changeling, because I really like to have 50 Leech. But I guess I have a little bit of Leech here too. Oh well, that's not Theorycraft. Let's just open and get our Sylvanas shoulders so we don't have to worry about it. Do we have the video luck again? Okay. So we have our helm that we need. We almost definitely have to take this unless we got something else that's crazy. These gloves, yeah, these gloves, not too excited about. These gloves we can't even take because that's a dom socket spot. Okay, so the main thing I was wondering is if this cape had Leech or Avoidance. Avoidance on a weapon, but it's mastery heavy. Fortunately, I don't think we can take this. I think we just have to take the helm. We just have to take the helm. My main concerns with not like why I was thinking about taking something other than the helm is this is just an item that's one of the first few like bosses in the raid, and once I get raiding again I should be able to get this easily. I assume most people have it if they need it by now. So if I had gotten just like a small upgrade on something else, this is a really tough decision. In Mythic Plus as a Paladin, you really don't want Mastery just because it doesn't contribute to your damage. And the whole reason you're bringing a Pally is because of your damage. So I try and avoid Mastery when I can. However, the cloak has Leech on it. I would be tempted to use this cloak instead, but I think we got to take the helm. Especially considering this week's affixes. One thing that I use sometimes to decide what I take is what I'm doing this week. Ooh, I just got an achievement. Dominating the catwalk. Collect a full armor set. Alright. So we got our full... We finally fitted out our full Mythic Raid armor set. We were still missing the Sylvanas shoulders, but we have a different... shoulders from Raid. Take this gem out before we forget. Bam. So our Paladin is approaching tournament realm level gear. It's very, very close. One piece of my gear that I don't like is my ocular gland. I really like ocular gland if I can get it to give me verse, but I feel like 32% haste ends up just being a little bit too much, and I will run out of mana a little bit, and I end up just taking mana orbs in every dungeon because it's kind of, you know, I'm a little worried about running out of mana, especially during a long tyrannical fight, which this week is Tyrannical, Bursting, Volcanic, and Tormented. This is probably the best Tyrannical push week. Let's take a look. So we have Tyrannical, Bursting, or this is Volcanic, Raging. This is a reasonable week too. Necrotic Stinks. Sanguine Storming, Sanguine, yeah. So this is the best Tyrannical week of the calendar. If you are looking to push some IO, especially me, I've been slacking a little bit on my Tyrannical IO. You can see have some only like 22s, 23s in some dungeons, whereas my other dungeons I'll have like 26s. So I'm definitely looking to do some IO pushing this week. Hopefully I'll be streaming on twitch.tv/yumytv. We'll have some good IO pushing, and we'll hopefully break 2800. Should be reasonable with lots of room to go. So let's talk about the affixes now. Part of the reason that makes these good affixes is that they don't impact the dungeons too much. So there's not a whole lot that we have to say about them, right? There's only so many different situations that we have to worry about bursting and volcanic. I think volcanic we almost never worry about. The maybe situation where I can see us worrying about volcanic is if you're at the level where you're doing the last boss with some of the mini boss auras, like the Cold Heart Slow specifically that I'm thinking of. You might get tied up in, you know, not being able to move from the volcano and being stuck in a spot where you get hit by a volcano, but that's like a very, very small thing, and it doesn't even affect a lot of pug groups. I personally just like doing the cold guy. I know a lot of people skip the cold guy, and it can be good to do practice on the last boss, but in my opinion, you can do like insanely high keys even while killing the cold guy. So I would recommend in pugs just always killing that guy, although Sagadon I think is pretty easy to skip. Now with bursting, there are definitely some situations where bursting can be tough. Ardenweald in the other side is for sure one of the hardest. We have a ton of different mobs that are a lot of different HP, so generally speaking, as a healer in this area, I'm just fully focused on bursting and trying to keep my team topped. Sometimes it can be a bit distracting because these mobs are usually pretty easy. They only really hit the tank and they don't do much else, so your group won't be taking almost any damage, and it can be kind of tempting to, like, you know, you're DPSing a little bit, and then, you know, maybe a couple bursting stacks, and you're like, oh, we're fine, and then because it's tyrannical, the trash dies pretty quick, and before you know it, you have like 12 bursting stacks. So this is an area where you have to play pretty defensive. It's tempting to blast and try and pad and do big overall, and I don't blame you for it, but something to consider. Halls isn't too bad. One thing you may need to worry about is these groundskeepers. Sometimes they can get dragged into pulls where you're not necessarily wanting them. For example, like, let's say you do this pull with the shard first, maybe these guys would lust or something, and these groundskeepers come in and they end up dying and giving you a 4 bursting stack in the middle of the shard thrash, which can be a bit tough. So just watch out for the little guys. And there's a lot of little guys throughout the dungeon. Hopefully you're not doing too much in this area. Other than that, I can't think of too many situations. The only other one that I think is worth mentioning is the mini boss Varuth. So this guy reduces all healing done as soon as you get in combat with him. So one thing that may happen, not in Mist specifically, but in dungeons, is you fight a pack, bursting, you know, hits you a little bit, everyone's kind of half health, and then you run into this Varuth guy, and then all of a sudden it's very, very difficult to top everyone from that bursting. So just make sure that if you're doing a bursting pack right before Varuth, that you take the time to top everyone, and you just kind of have to have that mindset as a healer to quickly top people. Plaguefall, you have all these slimes. Basically every pug this week, if you go into these slimes, it's just going to kill you unless everyone has an immunity. Some advice that I'll give you as a healer in these like really crazy packs where there's just like an absurd amount of bursting, the most important life is your own, because if if everyone on your team dies, you can just simply res, and you lose a little bit of time, but it's not that bad. But if you die as a healer, very often bad things can go wrong. If you have, you know, let's say 2 or 3 people alive, but none of them have a res, and you have to run back, and, you know, like, just having a couple teammates die if you really have to, and taking the 30-second time loss is usually fine in pugs. So I think the most important thing when you're fighting these, or any sort of, like, really dangerous bursting, is just fully focus on yourself. And that's something that I'll say sometimes in Discord. Like, let's say I realize that things are going to hell and we're in trouble, I'll just say, all right, you're on your own. Like, I'm just trying to keep myself alive here. Can't think of too much else. You know, obviously there's going to be some tough pulls sometimes depending on how big you're pulling, but this week shouldn't be too bad. All right, so let's do our giveaway. So I posted in the yumytv Discord just about a week ago after the MDI matches, a giveaway for 1 t-shirt, 1 hoodie, and 1 jogger. 3 different packages of those. These are Golden Guardians merch. They are not my own merch, and hopefully my own merch will be coming soon, but that's kind of in the works right now. But either way, we have 3 merch packages to give away. I spent an embarrassingly long time trying to figure out how exactly we should do this, but I decided on this little spinny wheel thing because it looks cool, and we have all the names here. Hopefully, if you entered, you can see your name here, and if you did not enter, hey, you should be hanging out on my Discord. There's always a lot of people doing keys, and I'm gonna give myself the crown of one of the most active Mythic Plus like streamer Discords, just because everyone's always hanging out doing keys. Everyone's super friendly. There's sometimes some weird pictures of food that are a little bit suspect, and yeah, but hopefully a lot of the cute aminals make up for it. All right, so we got 3 packages to give away. When I select your name, I'll probably DM you on Discord later today with some info. I'll just send you to the Golden Guardians merch guys so that they can get your information. I don't have to be a part of it. So here we go, let's spin. Oh, I trolled you. All right, the first winner is Spiff. I like the clap, the clap and the cheering. And we're not gonna remove them. If someone's gonna win multiple times, I just want to let everyone know how lucky they are. Hopefully they can realize that and take a trip to the casino or something. All right, second winner. Luna. All right, last winner. And Maple. Thank you so much, friends, for the support as well as hanging out in our Discord and just being friendly. So I will hit you guys up sometime later today with some information. I'll give you guys someone to contact on Discord that'll take your info, that they'll send you out those GG merch packages. So thanks for that. I was gonna just do this off stream, but I thought, hey, well, I have my new weekly video that I can just do stuff like that. So why not? And lastly, let's do this. So in my last video, I talked about a little bit of a channel update and talking about some video series and stuff that's going on. And I thought, well, let's just read through a few of the comments and just see what you guys think, and we'll talk about it and go from there. And so the top upvoted comment, and this is one that gets talked about a lot, is a KSM challenge-like series, trying to pug your way to KSM on a new character, hopefully without the help of your viewers. Those series are a lot, and I think there's a couple of them in there. Making a new character and pugging KSM, so 2 of the top 5 comments are talking about it. And I'm kind of on the fence about that. For certain, I don't know if I want to spend time leveling a new character. If I did, I would probably just buy a boost, and we don't have level 60 boosts right now. My main issue with the KSM sort of style challenge is just the time involved. You know, like all the time I would have to spend to make the character viable just to make, you know, like however many videos. I'll tell you what my idea is. I don't know about KSM, but I'm thinking a little bit less than that. So my idea is making a series where I call it like a healer guided walkthrough or something like that, where I'll boost a character, but instead of like trying to take it all the way to KSM, I'm mainly going to focus on like the beginning parts of it. So like when you're first gearing up, doing a couple of your first mythic pluses, or maybe some heroic dungeons, and just some of the basics, like things you have to think about, like some of the mechanics in the dungeon to look at, and how to interact with people and that sort of thing. So I'm not necessarily going to focus as much on like 10 to 15 keys, but more so lower than that is kind of my idea. And we'll see where that goes. If it would be cool if that turned into a weekly series, and then who knows, maybe those characters will grow up and eventually they do go for KSM or something. I don't know how long it'll take. I've never done anything like that, but it's definitely been something that's suggested a lot, and I've been warming up to the idea more and more. So, but unfortunately, the first thing that I need is like a level boost or whatever, and I can't do a level 60 boost. I assume that's coming with 9.2. So if you are looking forward to something like that, it'll probably be 9.2 is when I start a series of something like that. Maybe at some point I'll have enough time where I'll level up guys, but I don't think that's the case. I definitely think there's a good chance content about other games would be well received. Yeah, I'm kind of on the fence about that still. I've been playing a lot of Diablo 2 Remastered lately. I've been having a lot of fun with that. I don't know if I want to make content for it though. I feel like, I don't know, it feels weird as a creator. I don't know, I kind of need to work through that in my own head. In like, let's say I was to make a couple Diablo videos, right? What, like, am I trying to get Diablo people to my channel only to then never make a Diablo video again? Or maybe they'll enjoy my WoW stuff too? Or I don't know. It's just something that I have to sort of think about. I never really thought about or planned on these sort of things. I just kind of game and do my thing. So yeah, I'm not sure. That's kind of where I get stuck mentally in doing other game content. Is it's one thing if the content is more like casual and I'm just like, you know, messing around in a game and you guys get to see me mess around in the game, but I don't really do that too much. I'm just kind of like a sweaty nerd, and if I play a game I usually like take it pretty seriously. And so yeah, I'm not sure. I kind of have to think about that. But I do agree that, you know, it's not necessarily a bad time for some other game content. Yummy Chow's Frost Mage Journey. Oh boy, I don't know if that video has gone live on the GG channel yet. I don't always watch them just because I was there, but we played Frost Mage in some keys, and yeah, it was hard. I don't think my Frost Mage will make any appearance on my YouTube channel anytime soon. Playing other games, Pug and KSM. This is a great video if you haven't seen this one yet, the Healer GG video. While I think I might, I would consider doing something like that. It's also just good for the GG channel too. Like, I think what'll end up happening is we'll probably do more of those, but it'll be more for the GG channel. And then that way they can sort of handle the collab aspect of it, and I can just kind of show up and do my thing. Viewer key reviews. So that was my most recent viewer key, or my most recent video that I put out was a viewer key. I'm slowly getting back into the swing of things. I hope to get back to three or four videos a week, one of which will be a viewer key review. For sure, if you want to have your video reviewed, feel free to post it in my Discord and the Clips and Videos channel. I can't guarantee I'll get to everybody's video, but there are also lots of other helpful people there that will, give you some advice if you're looking for it. A little tip, if you're submitting a video to review, it's not necessarily just for YouTube content or whatever, but like, I want the video to have some things to talk about. Like, if you post a video where it's like 0 deaths and you have 8 minutes left on the timer and everything's good, I'm probably not gonna go over it. Yeah, there's some stuff to learn, but I feel like the keys or the situations that you'll learn best from are the ones where we actually find some mistakes. So that's a little tip if you're trying to get your video reviewed by me. If it is a clean run with a bunch of time, then I'm probably not going to look over it. I'm also interested as to what sorts of what sorts of levels you guys like to see. I just try and splash around a little bit with a little bit more heavy weighting towards, you know, like 15, 16 level, or people trying to like move up from that to do higher keys. And Wafflecat Weekly. Yeah, so I guess we're still the Wafflecat Weekly. We have lots of suggestions, but unfortunately nothing for a name yet. So I guess this will still be the Wafflecat Weekly. So that wraps over my thoughts for this week, talking about the affixes open in my vaults. I really appreciate you guys watching. Wish you guys all good luck in your vaults if you haven't opened them already, and I will see you in the next video. Happy keying, friends.